Good morning, beautiful people, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video in this amazing YouTube channel that goes by the name Maxwell Lumumba Africa. For those who are coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, I do reaction videos, especially to the videos that have been posted in public domain. I don't do what we call sugar coating. I bring things loud and clear the way they are. I am just expounding what happened. Like today, I can say Marwa lacks empathy. So Marwa speaks on Videe Jonah case, but what about the victims? Apart from that, also another second witness has come on camera and has explained how the vehicle rolled 5 times before causing the accident.
And I saw the way the car started.
And then after the impact, you went out, you looked at the...
I looked at the woman. The only person I saw was the woman lying down, like bleeding. 4 of us. Then the motorist on this side, Selene, the driver confused the road. Like he was confused with the steering. Then the car turned 5 times.
And that individual was inside Videe Jonah's vehicle. And before I go on to that, for those who have not subscribed to this amazing YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, and share this video to other individuals. Remember to turn on the notification bell so that any day, anytime I post any video, you people get updated and watch my videos from the beginning up to the end without skipping any ads. Having said that, I also have another YouTube channel that goes by the name Vibe with the Lumumba. Basically, for that YouTube channel, I post lifestyle videos, my lifestyle videos, and what I'm going to do in my project that I want to initiate. That is a business project that I want to initiate. I'm still doing 1, 2, 3 things so that to make it start, because I started with the architect and structural designer did their thing, and I'm still there waiting for the approval because I have to pay them amount of money for the approval. Then after that, I'll be doing some other things. Having said that, let me start with the Marwa, then I go to the witness, because things are now becoming very serious. And when I talk about Marwa, something did not sit right with me. I watched Marwa's video about Videe Jonah accident, and yes, he talked about the what happened, because he told us that he got some rumors what happened because it happened in Nyabohanse. He and Videe Jonah have associated there before. When Videe Jonah did his wedding, he attended the wedding and he talked about how maybe the case will be about insurance. But I kept asking myself one question: what about the victims? Because Marwa was there talking about Videe Jonah, Videe Jonah, Videe Jonah. There is nowhere he was talking about the victim, because we remember 3 lives were lost. But when I play the video about what these other witnesses speaking is now bringing to 5 people, so this is another question that we're going to ask. So when I'm speaking about 3 lives were lost, there was a motorcyclist, a woman, a child. So today I want us to go deeper, not just into what was said, but what was missing. So let us give us a recap about Marwa video.
Videe Jonah is a young man, young YouTuber here, and yesterday, I don't know when you're watching this video, maybe it's a week later, or let's say this week, he got an accident, very bad accident. His car was terribly in a bad accident. I pass my prayers to him and his family. It's very sad, you wake up in the morning, you have a nice car, and you go back home with accidents and hospital bills and cases, because it's accident, and I'm told, I don't know, somebody died. I'm not sure of the information I'm telling you guys, because this is the 2nd accident he's having in a span of, I think, 3 months. So if I was him, I would not even buy a car. I will just concentrate on building my dream house and later buy a car, if I was him. And I hope he had a an insurance, good insurance. Otherwise, he's lost that car like that. And then people are involved now. Sometimes I tell young people, instead of even buying a car, build a nice house. Build a nice house. Even if you get an accident out there, you can go back to your home and sleep in a very nice house.
Let us be very fair first. Marwa is a public figure. Marwa did address the situation. He mentioned that him and Videe Jonah had moments there before. He explained a lot of things. He explained, even gave advice to Videe Jonah how he was supposed first, before even buying a vehicle, he was supposed first to build, then to think about a vehicle. He elaborated something very good, but he failed to address an important information. But something kept, or something felt so incomplete about the shift to victim, because at the center of this story, it is not just headlines, not just a content creator, but real people. People who had families. People who woke up that day not knowing that they will be there last. People who were minding their own business only to be involved in that deadly crash. People who never expected something terrible. And sometimes, in the noise of social media, we forget them, and that is what we can see. Let me talk about the empathy discussion, because I have to talk about that before I go and speak about the witness, what the second witness said. So this is where the conversation changes. When tragedies happen, there are two layers of response. You can focus only the person in the spotlight, and that is what Marwa did. Or you can step back and see the full picture, because now Marwa is speaking about Videe Jonah, giving advice on how Videe Jonah was supposed to make sure that his life was stable. He was only talking about materialistic things, about vehicle, about building a house, without focusing on what we call now the accident. And it was like praying for Videe Jonah so that things goes well, very well. So let me talk about empathy is not weaknesses. Empathy is a responsibility, because somebody like Marwa, we'll never compare Marwa with Maxwell Lumumba. Marwa is very popular. Me, I'm not even popular, yeah? For those who like, maybe, me, what I know, I have a lot of haters. I'm not that much popular, because I bring, when you tend to bring things the way they are, you'll be getting a lot of haters. So let me take a balanced take on Marwa, and let me be very clear. This is not about attacking Marwa. Everyone processes situations differently. Some people talk about or focus on the facts. Others focus on emotions. But as a creator who has influence, and with influence comes responsibility, let me talk about the legal update and expectation. We have to bring things the way they are, because today is the day that Videe Jonah is going to be arraigned in court. Videe Jonah is expected to be taken there, and this is the beginning of the legal process. In court, several things can happen. Charges may be formally presented. He may plead guilty or not guilty, and that is basically, today is day one. He'll be in court, then he'll be asked, are you guilty or not guilty? And there is a possibility still for bail and bond may be also discussed, and the case may be scheduled for hearing. So this is the time that everything is going to happen, and what we are supposed to expect next after arraignment. The case does not end there. There will be investigations continuing, evidence brought or presented, witnesses possibly called, legal argument from both sides because they have to explain everything that happened, then this process can take time. This is not a case that will end today or tomorrow or this year. This is a case that is going to be there in court until when the file will be closed. You know, that is why most of the times I don't want to engage myself in court cases, because you remember even when Marwa and Gintu had court case, they were like up and down handling court cases. So that is why I don't want to find myself handling those issues about court case, because you can schedule your schedule that today I'm going somewhere, then all of a sudden you remember that there is a mentioned date that you have to appear in court and you have to appear. So that is why I usually avoid all those shenanigans. That is why I keep myself or my life very private. Let me talk about the reality check and what social media says about the reality. One thing that we have to understand, social media moves so fast. Today we can talk about any other thing. Tomorrow another issue is arising, because the same week we have been talking about LGBTQ CUIRS what, all those are named with a lot of alphabets. Yeah, we have been talking about that. The same week we have been talking about DV. The same week we are talking now about an accident. The same week we will be changing focus to something else. So the social media is moving so fast, but justice moves carefully. Online people want instant answers. People are asking a lot of things that they need answered. Even now people are talking about Mayani. Yeah, why is Videe Jonah arrested and the victim who did this about Mayani is not arrested? Videe Jonah, it is alleged, he presented himself to write a statement and he was inside, but the other person did not even present himself to the authorities. So it is going to be so hard. But the reality is this: in court everything must be proven. And let me say this as we follow this case, let us not lose focus. 3 lives were lost, families are grieving, and legal process is now unfolding. So we can discuss, analyze, even disagree in some situation, but let us not forget humanity. So for Marwa, let us not forget humanity. Let us not take a stand in this situation. Having said that, let us watch this clip about the next victim, the next witness, then we dive deep into the rest of the discussion.
And what happened really, it was like we were coming from border Sirari, that's near Mabera, Abwanza. Yeah, so when you're coming from there, the motorist on the other side of this road was challenged the driver.
What?
Challenged the driver. So the driver was like, he wanted to overtake him.
4 people.
Videe Jonah, Naliaho, and Baraka. Baraka of us. Then the motorist on this side challenged the driver confused the road. Like he was confused with the steering. Then the car turned 5 times, coming down.
And the motorcycle was going up?
Yeah, the motorist was on this side.
So basically you were on this side going down, the motorcycle was on that side, going up.
Then there is another one on this side.
Another motorcycle? Yeah. On this side?
The one on this side, the one that caused the accident, because the one challenged Videe Jonah, because Videe Jonah was trying to overtake the motorist.
This one, yeah, that was here?
Yeah, this one.
So he ended up hitting the other one?
Yeah, so when he was overtaking it, then he tried so much.
The scene, the motorcycle.
I was in the car, and I saw the way the car started.
And then after the impact, you went out. You looked at the.
I looked at the woman. The only person I saw was the woman lying down, like bleeding.
And there were 3 people on the motorcycle.
No, there was a woman who was walking with this kid, holding his hand.
Walking on the roadside.
On the other side, yeah. Then there was a motorist who was coming, carrying 3 people. The motorist, 2 people now.
So we are having now a total of 5 people.
No, we are having a total of 4 people.
See,
Because the
motorist
yeah,
plus 2 people,
yeah,
a woman plus the kid.
the kid. So
Those
what
are
I'm not
5.
sure, who never died is the person who was riding the motorcycle. Because I think he's okay. Because I don't know, he jumped or what. Yeah, but the woman and the kid, I think instant they are there.
Marwa breaks his silence. A new witness speaks on Videe Jonah crash. What really happened on that road? Because this is another information, and I will keep on saying the same thing. You know, I tend to think when Naliako was speaking, maybe he never knew what he's speaking, and maybe he was under influence. That is what I can say, because that is not something you're supposed to say publicly, especially on the camera. Another witness spoke something else on camera. Even I'm tending to think that what kind of people that are Videe Jonah associated with, because these people are coming to the camera and exposing more truth of what happened. Just when you think about this case is cleared, or you start thinking about how this case direction is heading to, another witness has now come forward, and what he's saying is this: he adds a completely new layer in this story, but it also raises one big question. Are we getting closer to the truth or further from it? Because when this witness came, and before we go deeper to what he said, let me make this clear. What I'm about to share is based on witness account, not an official police conclusion. Investigations are still going on, so take this as part of unfolding story, not the final truth. The final truth will be coming from the court, the investigation. Once the investigation is done, everything will be unfolding, and that will be the reality of the situation. So according to the witness, they were traveling, or they were moving from Isibania towards Mabera. On reaching Nyabohanse, at some point, Videe Jonah alleged attempted to overtake another motorist in the same lane. I told us yesterday in yesterday's video that in Kenya we keep left. So Videe Jonah was trying to overtake another piki driver. You know, the motorists here in Kenya, we call them piki drivers or border drivers. So when you hear me talking about piki, just know I'm talking about the motorist. So Videe Jonah was trying to overtake that motorist. So that tells us that he had to overlap towards the right side of the road, because we keep left. So, and then something critical happened. The witness claims the motorcycle ahead created a confusion during this overtaking attempt. In that moment, control was lost. The vehicle reportedly, I don't know, it is rolling. I don't know, this is rolling or this is turning. I don't know, it is turning or rolling. So the vehicle rolled or turned. Let me use turned. The vehicle turned not once, multiple times, around 5 times, and then it crossed to the other side of the road. So, and there is where the fatal impact happened. So let me, a lot of people were now saying a lot of stories. Some people were defending this side. Some people were telling people that have helmet. And let me tell the YouTuber, the motorist, this is just like a warning, This is like a warning now to us, So for the YouTubers or for the motorists who are not putting on helmet, today I'm going to buy helmet for my pillion, You know, my pillion, I usually be driven with a motorcycle. So today I'm going to put helmet, and I'll be wearing now 3 jeans, 3 jean trousers when I know I'm going to ride a motorcycle. Yeah, 3 jeans trousers and a pair of gumboot on top, so as to be very safe. Yesterday I was having a live stream. People are telling us that you YouTubers, you film or you do videos while you people are driving your motorcycles, your vehicle, so we need to resist that behavior. I was told to give us a warning, and I've given us a warning, so let us resist from that behavior, and that is what I'm going to tell us. Yeah, so me, I'm going to acquire my helmet today. When you get me in a picky with no helmet, ask me why. Yeah, ask me why, because it really protects our head. And when it comes to clothing, let us put 5566 trousers, yeah, so that when we fall down, but I'm not praying for us that we fall down, when you fall down you don't get that impact. Yeah, and let us buy even the gloves. You see, like me, I have a lot of dents and a lot of, this is I think these are blood clot here. This my hand is with the puncher, so if I could be having hand gloves, that tells us that things will be okay. Even my toes, I was told this is called toe, my toes has some puncture. I don't want to show it on camera. I have some puncture in my toes. Even my trouser turned from a new jeans to a legged. I don't know, it is called legged, those ones with holes. Yeah, it was having some holes. So let us dress properly, especially when we know we are on transit. So I was discussing about the car. So the car then hit people on the other side, including a motorist, a woman, a child. So when he was explaining about the impact, so he's saying that the child and a woman, they got double impact. Yeah, the motorist knocked them down, the vehicle knocked them down, so it was like a double impact, and lives were lost instantly. This is where everything now changes from a driving decision to a life altering tragedy. Let me say that after what happened, the witness says after the crash, they came out of the vehicle and realized that something terrible, that people had died. And at the same time, a crowd was already forming. He described the situation as the situation was so hostile, dangerous, unpredictable, and in that moment they decided to run. He even narrates how Naliaku was caught with some of the people, the crowd. They were asking, "You are the one who was driving today. We are going to finish you." So Naliaku had to we call it what? He had to talk for himself, and when he was left is when he ran to the celebration. Yeah, you are from accident, then you run to celebration. This is so awkward. So let me talk about the mob justice reality, because I mentioned this before, and let us talk about this honestly. Mob justice is real. In many road accidents, people get beaten, vehicle get burnt, situations escalate very fast. So when people ask, why did they run? There is a reality on the ground that cannot be ignored. When you see people are after you, I remember there is a time where I caused an accident. Yeah, I was with that was in 2020. I hit a vehicle from behind. You know, sometimes we use what we call preventive measures in our road. So when I did that, I dropped down the picky. I went and I caught the driver this way, I asked him, why do you want to analyze me? Why do you put instant brakes? And I know very well, yeah, I was the one who was in problem, because we know that distance, the distance between you, the driver in front of you and back of you. So I was like, let me act so quickly. So by then I was having a very huge body. Yeah, if I just come across you, you could panic. Yeah, before I get into diet and slendered myself. By then I was having a very big body. I was very huge. People used to fear me by then. Yeah? So after I caught him, you see, the other motorists now came. Then they were asking him, yeah, why do you put instant brakes? Why do you put instant brakes? I was like, okay, easy. Then good thing that he bent low, and I was able to proceed my journey. That is now what we call tactical defensive. Yeah, you don't do that every day, yeah, because sometimes you get into problem. Yeah, so that issue never went to police station or what. So let me talk about the number of victims, because the number of victims now is bringing a lot of issue. I remember somebody texted in my channel yesterday about 5 people. Even I remember Muzungu Pebble came in comment section and talked about 5 people. How 5 people? I had to explain to her. But here's where things become even more confusing. The witness now claims that the motorcycle had the rider plus 2 passengers. That is 3 people in the bike alone. But preliminary reports mentioned 3 fatalities. That was the total. So the question is, what happened to the others? Where were the survivors? Did they jump and disappeared? Were the numbers misreported, or is there missing information? So that is a thought of the day, and that is what we have to ask ourselves. This is why investigations matters a lot, because witness account can add clarity or create more questions. One version says one thing, another says something slightly different from the other one, and the truth sits somewhere that must be proven. So when I'm talking, like, let us wait for the investigation, I know what I'm meaning. At the end of the day, we are not dealing with content, we are dealing with lives lost. So let us allow the authorities to complete the investigation. Let us avoid rushing into conclusion, and let us keep focus where it belongs, on truth and accountability. Let us go and support the other YouTube channel, that is Vibe with Lumumba. Let us stay tuned. I'll be giving us an update of what is going to happen in Kehancha Law Court. Then after that, is it bail? Is it taken back to police custody? Things will be unfolding loud and clear. Goodbye.